You are now watching a honest Fanatec Gran Turismo DD Extreme review video on YouTube. I can say that confidently because this is the only video on the Fanatec Gran Turismo DD Extreme that does not contain a link to that product in the description where I would make 5, 10, 15% commission. I don't make any money from Fanatec by doing this video. Now, I have other bias in this video, which I'm going to disclose, but that's just a fact of it. That we seem to be in a situation at the moment where we haven't matured as a sim racing sort of like industry yet, where these products are sent out for review, for actual review and not for promotion. Now, I wanted to disclose my own bias here. This is the Logitech G Pro wheel, which we're going to be comparing with, because this is really the battle for what is the best Gran Turismo wheel you can get right now out of anything, and also the Moza R16. This wheel was given to me for free by Logitech over a year ago to make some content on the Logitech McLaren G Challenge and ACC. So I have got this for free. So I am biased to gloss over bad issues with the Logitech G Pro. I also have a discount code, Kireth, where you can save £50, and I think I'm meant to make commission revenue on that, although I've never received a penny as of yet, so I don't think it's been set up. The discount's working. But there are incentivizations here for me to be positive about this wheel, which I'm going to completely ignore and be honest in this video, because I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I don't make money from YouTube. It doesn't go into my personal bank account. I've never made money from YouTube. By the way, same with the R16. That was also provided for me for free by Moza and all of the rims as well. Although I've never received a penny from commission, although I could do, and maybe in a year's time I will. I don't know. But I want to disclose that because there is a thing at the moment about there is a dissonance in sim racing where you, the most important people, the viewers, you are the people where the companies are asking you to pay lots of money to buy their equipment. That is taking money away from yourself, taking money away from your kids and your family, and buying it on their products, expensive products that might take a long time to ship and might not work. And also the YouTube influencers are asking you to buy through their links so they can get 10, 15%. I mean, if you do the maths, if you do a video on the Gran Turismo DD Extreme, let's say the average price of it in the purchase would be $1,500, and let's say you do a video that's 50,000 views, and let's say 2% of the people who watch the video buy it, which would be 1,000 people. That's 1,000 times 150 if it was 10% commission. So off that, you can make $150,000 on a 50,000 view video selling a product like that, where 2% of the people watching it buy it. That is how much money is in sim racing affiliate marketing at the moment. I just want to put it out there. I'm not throwing hate on anyone. I'm not throwing hate on the YouTubers who do a great job and sacrifice so much in their lives to do this, and many of them don't even really say it's a review. They're just saying, I got this for free and this is kind of what I think about it. Some of them are doing reviews and trying to be really objective, but that is just a fact of how much money there is. And money clouds people's opinions and you can gloss over stuff. Anyway, a lot of really boring intro there, but I owe it to you to say, if I just flew to Fanatec to interview their CEO. I wasn't paid to do it. My flights are going to be reimbursed, but I didn't receive any money, and I was just completely honest to just ask the questions that I feel need answering on your behalf. So just want to be super honest about that. Right, let's get into the thing here. So I've been up close and personal, obviously, recently with the Gran Turismo DD Extreme. I have the Logitech G Pro, and I have the Moza R16 as well. Which is the best wheelbase here for this amount of money? Gran Turismo, really between the DD Extreme and the Logitech, but 16 Newton meter, you add Moza with all the ecosystem, there's a lot of stuff at play. So what actually is the Gran Turismo DD Extreme? What is this thing that everyone is talking about? Well, actually, for me, it's a bit confusing as a Fanatec customer, because for Fanatec, I buy my own stuff from Fanatec. So I spend money like everyone else thinking about it and like, oh, is this good value for money or not? And watch a billion reviews and I buy it and then I regret it and then it comes and I either like it or don't like it. This one I really liked. Great value for money. This one I wish I'd never bought it. And I'd never watched the reviews. They were like, oh, this is great, because I don't like it. Right, here we go. Club Sport DD Plus. This is actually what the back end of the Extreme is. It's a 15 Newton meter, and I'm going to explain all the stuff about Newton meters, and they're not all the same, and the little nuances here. I'm just going to compare everything. Got all their websites open. This is all the stats. So 15 Newton meter, direct drive wheelbase, that works on your PlayStation 5, i.e. works on your PS5. What that means is you can buy this for $1,000 and you can buy this for about $220 normally, and you've got a wheelbase and rim that works on PlayStation because a wheelbase is licensed. You still got to buy your pedals, by the way. It doesn't include pedals, but you don't need to even do the DD Extreme. You don't even need to. So why do the DD Extreme? Well, the DD Extreme come with some extra things for the €300. It's not super revolutionary, but it's like a one-stop shop if you just want to play Gran Turismo, basically. So it comes with this Gran Turismo wheel, or rim you see here, and it comes with a quick release in between the wheelbase and the rim, which allows you to do this, basically, to change your rim. Stupid on Logitech, because obviously I can't say anything, but right now, Logitech don't have any other rims. So the quick release is a bit pointless, which is a shame, because it's never gone wrong for me. It's pretty simple to use. The Moser one, incidentally, has gone wrong for me. Even though Moser gave this for free, I'm just going to be honest and say that the quick release on this one as well is wobbly. And the same thing happened on my Moser KS wheel. You know what I did? I made a video about it. I made a video saying my Moser wheel's broken. I'm going to try and fix it. So anyway, just want to be super honest about that. But the quick release on the Fanatec one is a bit controversial because it's a QR2 light, and previously the QR2 light hasn't meant to sort of withstand 15 newton meters of torque, and maybe there's a good reason for that. Maybe that's why you end up with these sort of wobbly quick releases. So I've got to fix this one as well, actually. So there we go. Now the quality of the wheel, so we'll take stock there. $1,300, pounds, euros. You get your 15 newton meter wheelbase. You get your Gran Turismo branded rim with lots of buttons, especially for Gran Turismo and PlayStation, and a little dash as well, and a quick release. What do you get with the Logitech? So for £300 cheaper, or actually, I think my discount code gets you £100 or £50 off. Let's just say £50. So therefore, for £350 cheaper, if you use code Kireth, but you don't need to use it. But it'd be weird to talk about the pricing and not acknowledge that that price is not the price that you can get it for. You get basically the same fundamental stuff in a sort of very general sense. You get a wheelbase, you get a quick release that's already on the wheel, and you get a circular rim like this. Now, the wheelbase is weaker than the Gran Turismo GD Extreme. It's only 11 newton meters. Logitech's website, for me, is really not very helpful. I don't like how they just don't really set out the specs very clearly. You have to see here, it says experience 11 newton meters of force, but it's not in the spec sheet on the website, which I find very, very, very weird, and I wish they would just make that clearer. But anyway, so you get 11 newton meters, so it's 4 newton meters weaker. We will get into that. And also the rim is not a Gran Turismo special rim. It is branded PlayStation, you can see, because I've got the PlayStation variant. It doesn't have a display on the rim. There is a little display on the wheelbase, but it's a very small display. Definitely doesn't show as much as the Fanatec one. But this is a very metallic rim. Very metallic and sturdy and strong rim. You can see the feedback on the Fanatec Gran Turismo DD Extreme rim has been that it feels very plastically and it flexes. This rim ain't gonna flex. Like, this is just a very, very, very solid rim, but the downside is that you can't change it. This is what you're stuck with. So if you look at this rim, you're like, nah, mate, I drive a lot of Formula GT cars and I don't want to use a circular rim. This ain't gonna be for you then. So this is what you've got. Facts. That's it. So that's a Logitech. Now, there are before we get onto the Moser, there is one other big difference between the Logitech and the Fanatec one, but Fanatec are trying to bridge this gap, and that is the actual force feedback itself. So 15 newton meters on the Fanatec, 11 newton meters on the Logitech, but it's not quite that simple. 2 reasons why. The first reason is that running a direct drive wheel at 15 newton meters is going to be very tough. I know that because I've tried to run the R16 at 60 newton meters, and I'm like, oh, not turning in. When I do my karting championships, if I'm doing a 1.5 hour stint in an endurance race, by the end of that stint, I'm like struggling to turn in, and I'm not as fast. I can see it in my telemetry. So I turn the force feedback down. So on the Logitech, I run it at 8, and on the R16, I run it at 50%, which is actually also 8. So why do I do that? Because I don't want to have that difficulty to turn the wheel, but I want to have all that detail. And by turning down the strength from a higher newton meter wheel, you actually preserve that detail, but you don't have to fight the wheel. So I've had some Coca-Cola, some Pepsi Max actually. So that's why. So when I've been using the R9 from Moser, the R9 at full force doesn't give the same detail as the R16 at 50%. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's one thing. The other thing is TrueForce and FullForce. What is TrueForce and FullForce? To explain this, you have a force feedback wheel here, for example, that's capable of doing 11 Newton meters of torque. That is sort of like the power that it can take. The actual information it gets might not be very detailed. It might get really simple information. That is actually the case with a lot of racing games and the standard API that comes out of it. So it's very, very, very simple data actually that comes out. So the wheel manufacturers have come up with their own APIs where they can get more data from the game to the wheel. Logitech's is called TrueForce, and it's hard for me to explain because what can I say? But it just gives more detail. It gives more data. You feel more. Don't listen to me on that. If you own the Logitech G Pro, write in the comments whether you use TrueForce, yes or no, and what your thoughts on it are. So just check the comments right now for that. Fanatec are bringing in FullForce. So this wheel is going to be FullForce compatible. It's the same thing. It's their API that's going to give more detail from the game. But as I understand it, it's not ready yet, or the developers are. It's not, I don't want to get too much into this. I don't know the specific facts, but I don't think it's going to work day one on Gran Turismo. Basically, it requires a developer to sort of include it in the game. So at the moment, Logitech has an advantage with more detailed force feedback, but it looks like Fanatec are going to bridge that gap. But you have to do some more research on that. Now, Moser, they talk about something here: next generation force feedback filter algorithm. I don't think they have anything like TrueForce or FullForce. I might be wrong, but I don't feel like they have it. They have some other sort of things as well, like hands-off protection and force feedback dampening, but this is not the actual API from the game. So worth bearing in mind, that's where we are on that kind of stuff. I'm going to take a swig of my Pepsi Max and just plug my into. I just flew to Fanatec, to their offices, seeing all of these wheels up close, and interviewed their CEO. I was not paid for it. They're going to pay for my flights, but I was not paid for the interview. I don't receive any commission, and I could ask whatever I wanted. So firstly, go watch that interview after this if you want to just know the lowdown. And secondly, I do have to say credit for Fanatec for just like inviting someone over who's not affiliated and, you know, knows I'm just going to say whatever I want to say. I think it was a bit risky for them. But the comments on the video are very interesting. I do want to go back and reply to those comments. So between the Logitech and the Gran Turismo DD Extreme, we now have the Logitech, which is £350 cheaper, but it's weaker, and it doesn't quite have the same bells and whistles on the rim as the Gran Turismo DD Extreme. So when you think about it like that, that is really the comparison that I think needs to be explored fully. Gran Turismo DD Extreme for $1,300, Logitech G Pro for $950. What is better? And that is going to be a really detailed explanation that I can't do right now because I don't have the Gran Turismo DD Extreme in front of me, which is it worth £350 more? That, to me, that is the ultimate question that I haven't... This is why I said this is the honest video you're going to see on this, because that is really the ultimate question. And I feel like the sim racing industry is by the way, hasn't matured to the state where these products are sent out for review and not sent out for promotion. So the Fanatec products, I don't think have been sent to anyone who is not a Fanatec affiliate/promoter. Sounds really harsh, but they're not being sent out really for review, in my opinion. They're being sent out to promote. And it's a blurry line. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. And I really don't mean any... I'm not casting any shade on any of my fellow YouTubers on this, because it's not their fault. Like, you get asked, do you want to receive a product? You're like, yeah, sure, receive it and try it, and I make a video. But I feel like this could be avoided if Fanatec sent these products more widely to reviewers. Then you'd have actual review videos and sort of a wider net. But when it comes out in this blast, it feels a bit like, hang on, this is all a bit of like a promotional blast masquerading as reviews. That's just my thoughts on it as someone who is not a full-time YouTuber but kind of watches this stuff. And I'm also thinking, should I drop $1,300 on the Fanatec DD Extreme? Is it going to make me faster? Is it going to make me faster than the Logitech G Pro? Does the G Pro make me faster than, say, the G923? Like, these are all really important questions that I feel like you guys and girls deserve answering. So I'm going to try my best. So that's a question there. Then you think about Moser. So you got the Moser one. Let's have a look at the pricing on the Moser. So the Moser R16 is £800, and then you're in the ecosystem. So for example, you could get the Moser KS rim, which is one of mine that broke and I had to fix it, but it's still my favorite Moser rim to use that I got for free. So let's just have a look at the Moser KS pricing. So that's £800. So here we go. Here's the Moser KS rim. So this is if you want a GT rim off the... There's going to be a big caveat here. That's £279. So that means for a little bit more than the Logitech, you are getting a GT rim and you're getting 5 Newton meters more torque on Moser and an access to a wheel ecosystem. But it doesn't work on PlayStation. I want to make it super clear. It does not work on PlayStation. But you can buy the rim separately and the wheelbase separately, which you can't do with the Fanatec or the Logitech. There's so much choice now. There's so much choice. So I'm not going to make a recommendation here because, as I've explained, clearly I can't. I can't try and say, this is the best Gran Turismo wheel of all time. This is a game changer. There's a very subtle difference here between the Logitech and the Gran Turismo DD Extreme. By the way, I'd say the pedal options are not included, but the Logitech low-tail pedals are quite similar to the Fanatec pedals. I prefer my Fanatec V3 pedals over my Logitech G Pro pedals, but it's close. They're both good low-tail sets. I just prefer the Fanatec. Worth bearing that in mind as well, because if you're on PlayStation, you're going to be limited to the same pedals in the same ecosystem. It's not like PC. Like downstairs, I have a Moser and Fanatec setup combined. Not like that here. So I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. I really, really, really do. So let me know your honest thoughts. What do you think is the best wheel for PlayStation? What do you think about the general sort of like marketing of this? What can we do better? Do you think I should approach Fanatec and say, look, can you send over a review unit that I will review for a month and then send back or something? I don't know. Or should I just buy it? You know, from all the advertising revenue that the channel makes, I just buy it and that's it. I don't know. Let me know what I should do, but I love making videos. Oh, I'm highly overexposed. And I will see you. Watch the Fanatec interview now. Watch it right now. I'll see you next time.